What's up, guys? So I gotta talk about this simply due to the fact I know a lot of my viewers also watch Uncle Frank's Finance, and I happened to just be scrolling looking at his video. It was like 3 days old, I think now, but I was reading the comments. I usually like to start in the comments on different videos and then go in, get the context, kind of what people's reactions are, then go back and watch the videos. And I was watching Uncle Frank's comments, two responses to people. He's kind of like me. He's going to tell you like it is, right? He's not afraid to tell you. But regardless, he talked about this, and it pointed out something that really struck with me, that kind of struck in my head. When Kieth Gill, we all know Roaring Kitty, right? When he did that live stream to let everybody know that, hey, it's me, I'm alive, check me out. You know, he's being a goofball. I never really watched him, so I don't know his personality. But Uncle Frank really pointed out something. And it has to do with his expiration date of June 21st, right? On all those options. I mean, that's a crap ton of options. And the dude was just potentially a billionaire for a split second, right? And then he posts that meme, but like, he was goofy, cool, calm, collected, while he's losing millions of dollars, literally losing millions of dollars during that live stream. And it's like, it didn't faze him. It didn't seem like it fazed him, right? At all. Okay, now granted, we've all been taught, obviously. I watched my account, it hit 317,000, was a crap ton of money, right? And I watched it over a period of time in 2021. All of a sudden, it's down to 200, then it's down to 170, 120, 180s. I've watched that puppy in the last 3 years run all the way down to like $3,000. So, but I was able to do that, right? We all were kind of trained to do that. But regardless, you're sitting there live. How does that feel, right? You're losing all that money. So what does Kieth know? The dude's obviously smart. I don't know. I'm going to show this interview with a former SEC something enforcer, whatever. You may have seen it. It's kind of old too now, a couple days old. Let you watch it too. But like, why is he so calm? What does he know between now and the 21st? Now, Uncle Frank was talking about the earnings call. They already did the earnings. They released the earnings early, right? And that was the argument in there. I love the way you people like to point out in your comments like, oh, this YouTuber got this wrong. It's so hilarious. Everybody's like, oh, the earnings has already been announced. Dude, he wasn't talking about that. It's the fact of them still having a call, not just releasing the results, but actually a conversation. So what is it? What is going on? What do they know or not know, right? What does Kieth know? What does he know potentially that's supposed to happen between now and the 21st? That's a massive, massive, massive risk. That's a lot of damn money. And somebody tell me, I lost track here. How did dude get $175 million? Or whatever it was. Where'd that money come from over the last 3 years? That dude's been, you talk about stacking and racking 5 million freaking shares. I guess I lost track of that. I just don't know where the hell he got all that money. I get it, his wife potentially works for Goldman Sachs and where he works, but 175 million? I'm thinking that's what I saw, is how much that he had an initial cost on all those stocks. Did he already sell everything he had and bank a ton of money back in 2021 that we didn't know about, and he went silent, and then he bought back in when it got low enough? Like, I don't know. I didn't follow that and Kieth and GME. Maybe the viewers did, if you know more about it. It's just, he said he didn't work with anybody, he didn't work with any hedge funds, but damn, that's a lot of money. But there's a part of me, I ain't gonna lie, either that dude's really crazy, doesn't really care, he's already got a shit ton of money, so it doesn't matter, and it is literally that much fun for him. But dude, watching and trying to carry on live and not let it affect you while you're losing millions, yeah, that's some major confidence of someone that knows something. And that's insane. That dude's gonna, if it hits over 60 something dollars again and holds before the 21st, they're talking about he's gonna be a billionaire, dude. That's some nuts stuff. You talk about some life-changing stuff. But anyway, watch this interview, and then I like your guys' opinions. And you want to talk crap to me? Cool. You know me. If you don't know me, I'm gonna say stuff right back to you in comments. It's just the way it rolls. But anyway, tell me what you think.
For more right now on what regulators may be looking at when it comes to trades and GameStops, we want to bring in Firdos Altai, who served as senior counsel in the enforcement division of the SEC. And Firdos, thank you for being with us today. There were a lot of questions about what he might say on Friday and whether or not that would land him in hot water. From what I saw, didn't seem to be anything that would necessarily be a big red flag for regulators. But what did you think?
Agree. I mean, he's a smart guy. He holds many FINRA regulations. He knows exactly what he's doing. I saw the whole thing as a stream of consciousness. He's not telling people what to do. He's only discussing his personal opinion. That doesn't give regulators a lot of wiggle room with what they want to do.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to label him a market manipulator. He answered questions saying it was just him. He didn't have other people who were in it with him. That would have been something they would have watched very closely. And he certainly seemed to lay out and show what he was holding. I mean, it showed that he would have lost quite a lot of ground just as the stock went down, too.
If anything, what he's doing right now is setting up a perfect defense for market manipulation. He's giving regulators everything that he would use in his defense if they brought up a market manipulation. I think ultimately what they're trying to do is ban him. That's a very high bar for them to reach.
Ban him from ever being able to trade again?
I think so. I mean, that would be the only outcome, right? If he was charged with market manipulation, they would be seeking a lifetime ban. They would try to get him out of the market completely. You see what E-Trade is doing. They're unhappy. However, they're getting the best press they've ever gotten. Their information is on every single thing he posts. So they should be happy right now, in a good position as well.
I didn't think about that this is free advertising, whether they like it or not. What do you just think about the retail movement in general? It's something that we saw the huge rise up during the pandemic. There's still a lot of active retail trading. And look, on Wall Street, people have always said they want people to be involved in trading. What do you think of this brand of retail trading?
I think it's fantastic. For the first time, individual investors are out there. They're out in front. They're learning from people. Now, look, meme stocks, there could be an SEC rule on meme stocks. Maybe they just don't like that. But retail investors are finally getting into the market. They're starting to understand what's going on. They're trading their own money. And that's great for the market. And if Wall Street wants to try to beat retail, they're doing that right now. This is a game. Wall Street is a game. And now regular investors are having fun, too.
Having fun, and I guess part of it is just getting people actively involved. What's the right way to go about this? Because you don't want to see retail investors who are left holding the bag if there's a big movement that is not based on fundamentals and things that get tossed around. But look, people have thought that Wall Street was rigged for years and years anyway, and that the retail investor could never win.
That's true. I mean, but here right now with these types of meme stocks, Kieth Gill particularly, everything is public, right? Perfect information makes perfect trades. That is the baseline of economics. The more retail investors have actual information, the better decisions they can make. Right now, we're seeing retail investors act very differently from how they did back in 2021. We're also seeing the street act very differently. They're reacting to Kieth Gill. They're reacting to the positions he's showing that he's holding and affirming that he's holding. This is what the market is supposed to do.
How much of it, though, is different than what day traders were back in the late 90s, early 2000s? I mean, it's one thing to be an investor. It's another thing to be a trader. And it's a lot harder to be a trader, whether you're a pro or whether you're a retail investor.
Right. There's always winners and losers. Day trading is one of the highest risk positions that you can take. That doesn't mean that retail investors should be banned from doing it. Day traders have been banned, right? Because they know how to manipulate the market. They know how to affect a short squeeze. I think if what they're trying to do, if regulators are looking at what Kieth Gill and other meme stock creators are doing, is what they're trying to do is find a rule that doesn't exist right now to control the market. We don't want retail investors left holding the bag, but they have perfect information about what could or could not happen with this particular stock.
So what do you guys think? You think Kieth Gill truly needs to be investigated? Do you think that E-Trade needs to keep him or take him off E-Trade? Or do you think that they should do what they did to Jordan Belfort? Was it? Yeah, Jordan. Should they ban Kieth Gill from trading in the stock market for the rest of his life? I mean, granted, if this dude could make $1 billion, it probably wouldn't matter after that point. He'd be set, right? They're probably afraid about the disruptions. If you think about it, I mean, what could he continue to cause as time progresses, especially if he gets $1 billion under his belt? My gosh, man. Imagine he could do a lot with that, but I don't think, in my opinion, I know it scares them, and they were probably worried, like, how much control could he create? What could he do? What kind of damage? But that man doesn't deserve any of that. You know what? He voiced his opinion just like I voiced my opinion. He kept doing it back then, and he made a lot of money doing it, and a lot of other people made money. But what's your opinion about what these people just said and what that lady said? She seems like she's on retail's side, in my opinion. I don't think sounds like she's against us necessarily. And some of the key things she said, listen, if you go back and really listen, there was a couple of things that really stood out to me. But anyway, just give me your thoughts and opinions, guys.